Alex being in with Stateside Press and with Cody Haddon, who's coming off a big win at Eternal MMA 66. Cody, how are you?
Good, man. Yourself? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be talking with you, dude. It's been a couple of days since your fight. How you feeling?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Bit sore from the fight, but nah, I didn't really get injured or nothing like that. So, yeah, I can't wait just to return back to the gym and get training again, prep for the next one.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about it, man. How'd you feel about your performance?
Yeah, it was good. I not everyone. I made a few little mistakes in there. 'Cause I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm always picky. But yeah, I mean, overall, happy with my performance. I stayed very disciplined and didn't let the excitement get to me too much. And yeah, did what I needed to do in the end. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the performance. My opponent, very tough opponent, so I knew that he was gonna come hard, and he's very fit as well, and quite strong actually. So yeah, I kind of envisioned it going that way. That in the later rounds he would start to drop off. So yeah, I'm glad I got the finish.
What was told to you in between round one and round two?
Round one and two, I think my coach, he was just Ramel. He was telling me, you know, stay calm, breathe. You're winning all the exchanges. Make sure go head body when you're coming in with the punches. Head body head. And keep mixing it up really, and that was about it. Yeah.
What was the game plan going into the fight?
It's funny actually. I was speaking to my coach, and I was like, because I knew Jarrett, like I knew his dangers, and I knew that. I knew his strengths. So I knew that like I couldn't. He likes to throw big head kicks, big knees. Obviously, I knew that he'd be kind of in that like long range kind of distance, and then coming in with big shots, like one at a time, one big kick and one big knee. So I had to just not eat any of them. So I was aware of that. However, game plan wise, I remember even asking my coach, like, what's the game plan for this fight, coach? And he was like, honestly, with this guy, like just mix it up. There is no game plan. Just go in there, box wrestle, do what we do best, mix it up. You're better than this guy in every area. So honestly, felt weird because like every fight I go into, I kind of have a bit of a game plan. I try to adapt to the opponent. But for this fight, my game plan was to just be adaptable and just take the fight as it comes. And I kind of didn't know what I was going to do just until I could actually start the fight and like engage with the person and then kind of feel where I was superior compared to them in certain aspects. But yeah, man, the game plan was just to mix it up and stay adaptable in there,
I mean, how'd you feel after getting that TKO?
Yeah, it was good. At the time, I thought he was still conscious at the time actually, and I was kind of, oh ref, why are you stopping it for? But then watching back on the footage, I realized. But yeah, man, it was a big, like I've been out of the cage for like 11 months or something. So like for me, getting back in there, I remember winning and just like roaring because I just felt so like primal. I felt like I'm back, like where I belong. You know what I mean? And then I was like, someone fight me, like that's how I felt after the fight. I was like, just fight me, someone, stop running, and that sort of that's how I kind of felt. So yeah, it was good.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. So what was the long layoff? Because I mean, you put on a fight of the year with Steve Erceg, and then you were gone for 11 months. What happened?
So I returned back to training, and then I suffered a little bit of an ankle injury during training. So I was out for about a month or something. And then during that time, whilst being like out with an ankle injury, I've always just been interested on like the mental health side of things. And, coming from my background, I definitely had a lot of like rubbish and some garbage that I needed to overcome and that I needed to actually sit down and talk to someone about, which, like I kept putting off because I was always like, oh, I can't do that stuff now. Like, and then I was always worried about like, if I go into like, because I was kind of like, maybe that's what fuels me, maybe because I'm angry and like, and because of like my hardship, maybe that's what fuels me to fight. Cause I'm like, that's what's fueling it. So I was kind of scared to go into the mental health stuff, and I didn't want to come out of it all and then be like, hey man, I'm just all about peace now. I don't want to hurt anyone, bro. Like but nah, going into that mental health stuff, I actually came out and I realized that like deep down to my core, I'm just a fighter. And if I wasn't doing it in a cage, I'd probably be doing it on the street. That's just, I feel like that's my destiny. And that's like the only thing that makes sense and feels right is when I'm fighting. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've always wanted to actually take time off training to be able to go into that, because it took me about 10 weeks doing some personal one-on-one coaching with a coach, like a friend of mine. And I'd never seen any counselors or any like kind of psychologists or anything like that, which this guy isn't any of them. He's actually what we call like a men's healer. So it's a little bit more on the, spiritual side of things. And, people might be thinking I'm a bit of a hippie, but you can definitely tell by talking to me, I'm definitely not just a hippie. Yeah, so man, I had to, and I kind of just felt like after that fight, first loss, I wasn't necessarily upset with the loss. I was just like first loss and then getting injured. And it was kind of just, I didn't think it was calling to me. Like I needed to go and do it, like I needed to. And then because I was injured, I was like, you know what? I can't train anyway. I'm just going to go and do this. I'm going to actually commit to myself. And I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I want to go and do some mental health stuff. Like, don't know if you probably don't know, but like I was very close with my grandma. She I wouldn't say she raised me, but I spent most of my time with my grandma. Just because she was always running around. She was like the matriarch of like our family. Like she was kind of like always holding it together because it was quite chaotic, and she really was like a big part of my life in that. And then she actually passed away. And then I found it really difficult, and I was really depressed, and I suffered with really bad anxiety. And I've always been fighting since like a young kid. So I've always had a little bit of performance anxiety. Not that like my parents or anyone was deliberately putting pressure on me. I always felt like maybe I was fighting for them rather than myself, because everyone kind of knew me for, oh, Cody, how you doing, Cody? Like, when's your next fight? That's all they knew me as, is Cody the fighter. Oh, this kid, like, you know what I mean? So I kind of felt like there's a lot of pressure put on me there. And then that was making me not enjoy training and fighting. That was making me feel like, man, this is like, I have to do this, rather than, no, I want to do this. And then from going in deeper and actually getting to the root causes of all these problems, I realized it was just all the typical thing of like trying to impress other people and try to live up to other people's expectations. And now I honestly just don't really care what other people think, man. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, well, I don't really care. I don't have time for you either, So now is like, man, I'm not trying to do it for anyone else. I realize that deep down to my core, I'm a gladiator. And if I was here, which I believe, if I was here in, a couple lifetimes ago, or if I've lived once before, I definitely would have been out there on the battlefield with a sword, So deep down to my core, that's who I am. So man, like I'm just a fighter at the end of the day, and I'm in my element when I'm doing that. So
this is my favorite thing I've done in years.
So I'm in my element when I'm doing that. So yeah, I guess that's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. I'm really I think fighters talking about mental health is it's really awesome to hear about and see, because a lot of people deal with it, right? Mental health is a big thing, and seeing that professional athletes talk about it, I think it makes it more relatable, and it helps other people that are scared to talk about it.
Oh yeah, man. Like it's becoming now as well. I think it's becoming a lot more. Thank you. I think it's becoming a lot more like popular now. Not popular. I'm not going to say popular, because it's not something to be popular about. It's mainly like, I think now it's a lot more. You see a lot more people talking about it, and it's not a lot more normal now to be speaking about this type of stuff. Which, like where I come from, you start talking about things like mental health, they're like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're right, mate. Like what's wrong? Like shut up about that. Like everyone's very surface level, and you'll be all right, just have a beer. In Australia it's all, have a beer, that'll fix you. Have a beer, mate, chill out. Or like, it's like, nah, it's a bit deeper than that, man. And people are so scared to actually have that conversation with themselves and be real with themselves. You know what I mean? And can't run from it, man. It will catch up with you, you know, and it was catching up to me. I had to go and deal with it because I couldn't handle it anymore. I got to the point I was like, I can't do this anymore. I need to go and see someone and just spend a good amount of time on myself and fix my fucking bullshit because, you know, I couldn't handle it. It was calling to me and I needed to do that. And that's part of my life. And I'm glad that I've done it, but the work isn't done. Mental health is every day you're going to be challenged and it's not like, oh, you've done it now. You're all good. Every single day is going to be a grind and you're going to have to keep reminding yourself every day of how to be and how to feel and tell you and just remove yourself from your identity. You know what I mean? A lot of people have this, which I struggled with. I had this identity, Cody the fighter. As soon as I dissociated myself with Cody being the fighter, it's like I no longer needed validation from other people. You know what I mean? It's like, I'll do what I want when I want. And if someone thinks that like I shouldn't be doing that, I don't really care what they think because at the end of the day, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Also, I saw that you got some work in with Steve Erceg, man. How was that?
Yeah, man. So lucky, bro. So every Saturday, me and him go down to his gym, and we've been sparring and helping each other, and that honestly has been probably the best training, like sparring wise, I could get, and the best prep for this fight or any fight I've ever had. Having that high level, it's like, dude, every single Saturday, it's like our fight in the gym. Both coaches are clapping after the sparring. It's like just so epic every single time. And we're both just growing from it, man. Like Steve's super humble and he's always willing to like share little secrets and information and stuff like that. And vice versa with me. I'm always trying to like tell him as well, like, or not tell him, or like give him like advice and little things like that. And we're honestly just working together as comrades to like both get better. He's obviously got some big fights coming up with, you know, the Contender Series and all this sort of stuff. So I'll be in his camp for that to help him prep, as in not in his camp, but there to spar with him every Saturday just to help him prep for that as he helped me to prep for this fight.
Awesome. Well, what do you think of his matchup, and do you think he's going to get a UFC contract?
Man, Steve's ready, man. Like, he's got it all, and he's so clever. Like, his biggest strength is he's so intelligent. He has such high fight IQ. Not saying that he's not fit or anything like that. He's super fit as well, highly skilled. He can wrestle, he can box, he can kickbox. His jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. There's no area with Steve where there's no holes in his game, and he's so clever as well. And like, at the end of the day, fighting, you have to be smart, man. Like, you can't only biting down on your mouthpiece and swinging is only going to get you so far. So like, he's really clever, and I think he's got it in the bag, man. To be honest, I don't see, you know, I think he deserves to be in the UFC, and he's definitely at that top caliber. You know, there's no one else in Australia who can even come close to challenging the guy. You know, you look at all these fights for flyweight, he's finishing these guys in the first round. You know, like, no one can even come close to it, and he deserves to be on the world stage.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, man. Finally, you know, got back in the cage, 11-month layoff. What would you like the rest of your year to look like?
Ideally, man, at least another 2 fights. I mean, 3 at best. If I could get 3 fights in by the end of the year, that would be awesome. So that'd be like another 3 wins. It'd put me at like 6-1. And then I think around 6-1, or, you know, something like that, that makes me look a lot more applicable to, you know, some of the bigger promotions like the UFC and some of those other ones as well. I mean, hopefully, man, I would love to be able to get on like the Contender Series or the UFC, something like that. That would be awesome. Like, that's the dream, you know? So, yeah, I think for now, I just need to win a few more fights, you know, not build my record a bit, because I'm never handpicking opponents. I'm fighting the best guys always. But yeah, have the hardest fights and show that I am definitely the best guy in the country. And then, you know, when they need a bantamweight from Australia, how can they not pick me, you know?
Absolutely. Cody, congratulations on your win, man. I really, and just thank you for your time. If you want to plug your social media, plug any sponsors, you want to thank anybody, the floor is yours.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, my friends and family for always coming out and supporting me. My wonderful girlfriend Zoe, she honestly, like, through this fight camp has gone beyond limits to just like help me prepare, and everything she's done for me and organizing things for me. Yeah, it's been a pretty hectic fight camp, as they all are. So big thank you to my manager Jasmine. She goes beyond as well to do things for me. Without these people, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing, or I'd be able to do it, but I'd be a lot worse at it because they're looking after all that other aspect of it. So big thank you to them. So just want to shout out my sponsors. Obviously, I've got Addict Sports, Luistro Combat Academy, where I train out of. Thank you to everyone there as well. Ramel Luistro, my coach. Best coaching and guidance that I've ever had, and nothing's going to change, honestly. Like, he's world-class coaching, and I'm so grateful that he's took me under his wing. Also, CrossFit Dignus, big shout out to them. They helped me so much with my conditioning. You can thank my cardio being so great. That's all their work, as long as obviously the stuff I do in the MMA gym too. Gorilla Chiropractic, Vex MMA, Gobsmack Mouth Guards, Victory Recovery Systems, Pro Fuel Meals, Steezy Australia, Hemp Can Labs, True Nemesis, Supplement Mart, and Margaret River Roasting. All of my sponsors, thank you so much, because they do so much for me. And honestly, without them, I would still have to be working without all of them, I'd still be working like a 9 to 5 and trying to pay bills, etc. So, that's so awesome, man.
Awesome. Thank you.